And you already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Got my co-host Chucky in the house today. What up, Chuck? So I just did a video that I decided not to post. The video was almost an hour long. That gets into the months prior to me going to prison. It's actually an overall collection of about 2 years of my downward spiral. After doing the video and reviewing it and getting ready to start editing, I said, man, ain't nobody gonna watch no hour-long video. Don't nobody care about my relationship status at the time or how I was living. They just want this. So I decided not to do that video. Today I'm gonna do a video called What's Beef? I've seen a lot of dudes, and it's just in that environment, and nobody can disagree with this. It's a hostile, testosterone ruled environment. You got guys in there that shouldn't be free. Everybody that's against prison, start letting some of these individuals out that are truly sick, these real monsters, put them back into the world, let it affect your family, and the whole there shouldn't be prisons idea will leave your mind real quick when they find your grandma, you know, and dudes done whatever. That's dudes that need to be in prison. But with this What's Beef story and the stories I'm gonna get into, we're gonna revisit some crazy beefs I saw while locked up. I seen a beef where it was from a while ago. It was one dude that had victimized another dude when that guy first got there. The guy that did it was a good-sized dude. Runs across dude again, and he ain't the new guy no more. He's been hitting them weights. He's put in work since he's been there, hoping to run into the guy that got him when he first got locked up. And they come face to face many years later. I had to sit back and watch the whole thing unfold. I'd seen so much beef over my lifetime, my periods of incarceration. This started back when I was young. That it's hard to keep track of all of it. You got to remember, these stories span back from my childhood, teenage years, my late teen years, my young adult years, on up until my mid-30s when I was finally released. So if you think that all these stories just happened during a 10-year period, or a collection of stories that have taken place during my life. Before we get into the video, I want to comment on a comment. And the comment didn't rub me wrong, and I don't really care. Somebody said, why is it you always win anytime you talk about fighting with a black dude? Clearly you didn't watch all of yesterday's video. I've talked about losses I've taken in the past, wins I've had in the past. I won with the younger brother and lost with the older brother. Had he not have shown mercy and choked me all the way out, it'd have been a bad, bad day to be Jay Williams. I lost. So to make a comment like you make it seem like you always win when you fight with black dudes, it's not the case. I've lost to black dudes. I've lost to white dudes. You know what I mean? But if you ain't never lost in your entire life, you're either really, really, really built like that, which there's not many men that are, or you ain't really fought nobody. You've always picked and choose your battles, fought people that were weaker than you, smaller than you. And fighting, when you go up against whoever it is that comes at you, you're going to lose. Unless you're just that big guy that don't take no L's. I've taken mine. Let's get that clear. So with all that being said, what's beef? Beef is when it's past talk. Beef is pretty much on site. Beef is me and you, we got business to handle. And wherever it takes place is where it takes place. In the streets, real beef can take place right in front of the police department. Because when it's real beef, you don't care about getting away with it. You don't care if you get caught or not. You've got one goal, and that's it. And that's to eliminate the next man. That's what beef is. Beef is going all out with no regards for the law, for your own personal safety, or whoever you're going after. You know I'd have seen it. You know I'd have lived it. So let's relive it. I did a story on a dude named Pakistan. Pakistan's got so much time. I don't think Pakistan will. If Pakistan gets out of prison, he'll be a senior citizen when he gets out of prison. Will have to be put in an assisted living facility somewhere That's how old he'll be if he ever does see the light of day. When I ran into Pakistan, Pakistan had been in prison, I don't even know how long. He had been in prison since parole was still around, and parole was abolished in 1995 in the state of Virginia. This man had been down a long time. And kicking it with Pakistan, you know, I told y'all he had me look over his paperwork and his numbers, and if laws changed, he could be out in this amount of time, which was still just a crazy, insane amount of time, which excited him. He told me when I first got to prison, I was a force to be reckoned with. Straight up. He said, I got it how I lived. I ain't have no assistance from the streets. I rob dudes, whoever. I'll run up in that cell, put that knife on you, take your whole bag. Hope that you do something about it. I was young, you know what I mean? Just been sentenced pretty much to a life sentence. I don't care nothing about what you're talking about. I don't care what the repercussions are. I'm going to try not to get caught. But if I get caught, so what? I already got life. And if you want to push the issue and act like you're going to buck and not give me what I came for, he said, I'll put that knife in you. I'll put that knife in many dudes. He said, I was more or less. I said, so what? You was one of the dudes that picked on white dudes, right? He was like, nah. I preyed on dudes that I knew I could go at. I ain't really go at the gang members like that, because why would you go at, you know, a person that's got so many people behind them? He said, I more or less went at the loners. You could be white, black, Spanish, Asian, whatever. If you didn't have a big squad or your squad was weak, I was coming at you. He said, there's been times that I robbed dudes, go in their cell, rob him, and his cellie be looking stupid, and I snatch him off the bunk, put the knife on him, and tell him, give me your stuff too, man. Just in case you two get the bright idea that y'all gonna come together like a Transformer or like Voltron, team up and run up on me. Let you know it's real too. He said, I went to other dudes' cells after I robbed their homeboys. Told them, I just robbed your homeboy. Run it. Let me get that. You know what I mean? Like, just in case you get the idea that you want to step up and defend your homeboy. This is what it is. When I come in contact with him, he's calmed down. He'll go. I'd seen him fight. He'd snap out. He was still about that knife play, but he wasn't so much the aggressor anymore, if that makes sense. He wasn't running around robbing people no more. He wasn't running up on dudes no more. He wasn't looking for problems, right? He's been down long enough that he's got his hustle. He's got his little prison job. He done met a woman along the way. She's helping put money on his books, right? So he ain't got the need for all that. All the wild hair he had up his ass, it's gone. Many years have passed. He's gotten older. Now, in the time I knew Pakistan, it took several trips to the hole. It got jammed up for some other stuff that we're not really going to get into. And did get locked up and sent to the hole. There was another occasion where I seen him and a dude get into it, and he went to the hole. And even through everything I'm about to tell you, I did a lot more time with Pakistan after this situation transpires, and he eventually got jammed up on something else and got taken up out of there, and that would be the end of me seeing him. But let's get back into what we're talking about. A new dude comes in the pod, and to us, he's new. And I've said this in the past, and I'll explain this again. Just because somebody walks in and is new to us doesn't mean they're freshly locked up. Doesn't mean they're new to prison. It means a lot of times that guy that just walked through the door could have been down 30 years. He could be working on his 35th year and just transferred in here from another prison. Just transferred here from another part of the prison. Another prison somewhere in the state. But when new guys come in, you always size them up. You look. Pakistan sees this dude. Recognizes the dude. Doesn't say anything about it. You know, we all kind of glimpse and peep the tension in the air. New dude just constantly kind of glances at Pakistan, and Pakistan is keeping his eyes on him, but not to the point to where it's making it uncomfortable. Just like, you see me, I see you. Pakistan gets to kicking it with some of us out at the table one day, and it's telling us, he's like, damn, old boy done growed up a little bit. We don't even know who he's talking about. Who? Like the dude over there. We all look over the direction, kind of cut our eyes without trying to draw any attention. Look over like, what's up with dude? He's like, I robbed the shit out of dude back in the day. Dude first came in, he thought shit was sweet, getting them big bags of commissary and shit. He was a young buck. He was young, frail, skinny. He's like, straight up, I went in the cell, put the knife on him, put hands on him, beat him up a little bit, and robbed him. He said, I did this a couple different times, and to the point that he got scared and checked in and left, right? Just out of fear for his life, he got up out of there. Dudes, what you think gonna happen now? And this dude, I couldn't picture him being skinny. The dude he's talking about, I'm looking over, I'm like, dude looks like a damn baby gorilla. Like, he was skinny? He's like, man, this was a long time ago, Jay. I said, well, what's gonna happen now? He's like, it's gonna be whatever dude decides it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't nowhere to run. I ain't never ran from nobody. I ain't gonna start now. Whatever he decides to do is what we're gonna do. Now, you can take what I'm about to tell you and apply it to your life. It's something I was taught while locked up that I still apply to this day. If you're not gonna do something or do nothing or act on something, don't go running your mouth. Don't go telling other people what happened in the past about previous beef with you and this man, or this happened or that happened. Because though your intentions may be just to talk, when it makes its way back to the next man, he's not going to see it as you're just talking. First of all, you're bringing up old shit. Second of all, it makes it seem like you're still stuck on what happened once upon a time. And third, it's going to put him on edge. All right, if he's still talking about this, he feels some type of way. Why is he talking about this? Why is my name coming out of his mouth? It's exactly what happens. Pakistan don't act on it. He don't, he told us what had happened, which is, like I just told you, if you're not going to speak on it, don't do nothing. But he had already done something. And that's why he was telling us. Dude gets to linking up with dudes in there, gets his little squad of dudes, and like I said, he ain't no neutron no more. He ain't no loner no more. This dude's been down, probably 15 years at this point. Got him a lot of time to do too. And in the 15 years of him being incarcerated, he's done got big. He's out there pushing that steel. He's done been in them cells and fought. You know what I mean? He's done pushed that knife. He's done become what Pakistan at one point was. But they're both on some humble, chilled out shit. But it's one of these things with that dude telling everybody about what happened. He was more or less, in his way, letting them know, I'm not going to let this shit slide. Like, he ran me up off the block, terrorized me, beat me up when I was young and I was little. I ain't little no more. He's got to face me now. He's gotten older. I'm the strong one. I'm the alpha now. I've been here long enough. I know how prison works. I'm not afraid to do something. I'm not afraid of him, right? All this shit is transpiring in the air that this dude is telling this person that, telling this person that. And I told you, prison's like a big soap opera. It's like a college campus. Everything that happens on there, everybody knows about. So it's making its way back to Pakistan. What dude is saying? Everybody's on the yard one day, and I told you by now, this dude he's known in prison. He's walking with dudes he knows. Pakistan don't rock with a whole bunch of people, but the couple people he keeps with him, they're hitters. If you run up on them and it comes a knife play, it's pretty much a guarantee that every one of them either have a knife or have one buried out there on the rec yard somewhere that they can get to in a matter of seconds. They know exactly where it's at. They'll run over, grab it out the dirt, run up on you, and it's whatever. They're walking outside, and dude is walking with his dudes, and Pakistan's walking with his, and I'm over, talking to some other dudes, and we had been hearing the little stuff that was going on that dude was saying. So I know this doesn't go without something happening. Something's got to happen behind everything that dude is saying, and dude running his mouth and bringing up the past. And as the two groups of dudes are walking, I see the dude call Pakistan off to the side. Like, I guess he's on some, hey, we need to go ahead and figure this out. Like, you ain't just gonna walk around. Everybody knows what you did. I done told people what you did. I know you told people what you did. We need to talk about it. Him and Pakistan walk off, and now their homeboys go in their direction, continue walking, and him and Pakistan are walking together, walking around the track. And this takes place for a good minute, man. Probably 7-8 minutes by the time it takes to make a lap and a half, and then they link back up with their homeboys. We get inside the building that day. I don't know at the time what the conversation consisted of, right? So dude is telling Pakistan, like, look, I ain't forgot what you did. Which I would automatically assume Pakistan would have reacted right then and there. Pakistan goes into the whole, look, man, that was a long time ago. I'm not the same person no more. You're not the same person no more. I was out of my head at the time, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fresh in prison, ain't been here long, dealing with all the time I got. Prison was a much more violent place. It was more robberies and extortion taking place back then. He just gives him the rundown on it. It was nothing personal, man. That was just you as the new guy, and that's what happens. So dude tells him, look, man, as long as we're cool and I ain't got to worry about you, you ain't got to worry about me. And they leave it at that, right? Pakistan runs that whole conversation down to us. And as he's telling me, I want to believe that what dude is saying is true. But in my heart of hearts, I know that if I was in his shoes, that's exactly what I would say. I would 100% tell you what you want to hear to make you feel comfortable. Because if I tell you anything else, now I've got to watch my back. I've got to worry about you. I want you to feel complacent and cool and walk around. I want you to think, I'm not going to do nothing. So now weeks have gone by. Nothing's happened. Dude goes out every day, gambles, plays poker at the table. Pakistan works his job, goes through his routines. We'll all be on the weight pile at the same time, lifting weights. Pakistan will be over there lifting weights with his homeboys. Dude will be over there lifting weights with his homeboys. To my surprise, ain't nothing happened. Which really kind of caught me off guard when shit hit the fan. Because I'm thinking if it's going to happen, it's going to happen immediately. That's beef. Beef doesn't, sometimes you let beef sit on the stove and just simmer, you know what I mean? And sometimes you just cook it. You just get straight into it. Weeks have gone by and they're just coexisting. Everything's fine. And then shit hits the fan. We all come in from rec one day, middle of summertime, hot as hell. Everybody's rushing, trying to get their stuff out of their cells so they can get to the shower. Hey, let me get the shower after you. Hey, hold that shower. Hey, homeboy, throw a towel on that shower door so I can get that shower. These are things we do to try to get in the shower before the next man, because the shower line can back up and there'll be a ton of dudes waiting. Then you got to go to chow. Like, you don't want to go to chow all sweaty, covered in the dust that's blowing outside on this dusty-ass rec yard. You want to hit that shower, put on fresh clothes, and then go to chow, right? We all come in. Everybody's trying to get in the shower, and then I hear all fucking chaos break loose. And this is one of those things that when everybody comes in from rec, it's loud inside the pod. It's hard to hear yourself think. You got so many dudes yelling, dudes still hyped up from being outside. It's a bunch of commotion. But then we hear, like off in the distance, the rumbling and the fighting taking place, right? I look over towards, and Pakistan's on the top tier, I look over towards Pakistan's cell, and I can see that he's up there fighting. Like, he's going at it with this dude. This dude has waited till everybody came in from rec, went down to Pakistan's cell. Pakistan had just come in from there, was in his cell with his back turned, getting his shower stuff when dude ran up in the cell, right? It doesn't take long before we realize Pakistan's overpowered the dude. Pakistan is still bigger, still stronger, still much more violent, more seasoned, got more time in, has been in more fights, knows the in and outs of it. If you don't get him within the first few seconds, he's going to get his hands on you and he's going to hurt you, right? We look up there and it goes from him and Pakistan rumbling and they're upside the wall going at it, tearing the cell apart, right? And dudes are starting to draw attention now. It went from everybody yelling for let me get the shower next to dudes being nosy, looking, and then you got some of us like, yo, go on somewhere, man, mind your business. Like, don't be looking up there. You got new dudes that'll look, and then the guard sees their attention is focused over there. So now the guard's like, they got going on over there. Everybody's looking. So dudes are still being nosy, but going about their business as if they're not being nosy. I've got to go in that direction. This cell is up above mine and a couple cells over. So as I'm walking towards my cell, I'm looking up. And it started off with them fighting, and now Pakistan is on top of dude, just dish-ragging dude. You know what I mean? Just giving him the business, hurting him real bad. A little while later, and when I say a little while later, I say like 2-3 minutes. This is a spot that the camera can't catch. This is back towards the back of the pod where the staircase is. My cell is all the way at the back. His is a couple over me. The camera only catches like the center and the very beginning of the people coming in. All that back there is a blind spot. I'm waiting to take a shower. I'm not getting involved in this. Now I really need to get in the shower, because if they come in, whatever's going on is going to go straight to lockdown. Ain't going to be no showers. We're not going to chow. They're going to bring the trays. I need to hurry up and get in the shower before we get locked down and I'm in there, you know what I mean, stinking like a muskrat, like last week's prostitute, right? After about 2-3 minutes, I'm standing there in the shower line waiting to get in the shower, but I'm still slowly cutting my eyes. Like, I make it just, when I look, I just make it seem like I'm just like looking around the room, but as I'm looking, I'll keep my eyes focused on one thing and then turn my head. I see Pakistan drag dude out the damn cell and down to the end of the tier, which is only maybe 20 feet, not even, probably 15 feet from his cell, tending the tier. Pakistan grabs the dude by his feet and drags him out the cell down to the end and leaves him in front of his steps, right? Guards come in. Chow time, chow time. Well, when they do that, they're doing their rounds. As soon as they hit the top stairs, they see the dude laying down at the end. The guard radios for help. They call more guards in. Everybody locked down. If you ain't made it out the door for chow, go back in your cell. They're trying to turn dudes around and send them back in the cell that are already going to chow. Some dudes have made it to the chow hall by now, right? I have not made it to the chow hall. I'm trying to get out. Lock back down, lock back down. We all go in our cells. We go on lock. They come in with the nurses, get the stretcher. This dude is all the way out, and Pakistan has broke all types of stuff in this dude's face. Pakistan has smashed this dude's head into the floor. There's a visible blood trail, you know, on the tier. Pakistan had done his best to, like, try to clean up the trail that came out of his cell that led to the body. Like, took a wet t-shirt he put in the toilet and wiped everything up, took the t-shirt, threw it in the trash, and left the dude laying there. So there's only maybe a streak this long, maybe a foot and a half, 2 feet behind dude's head where Pakistan had drug him out, right? They get this dude out of there, and they come in and they start questioning everybody to what's going on. At this time, the pod I was in, shout out to 7 Bill 100 pod, a.k.a. the Terror Dome. We was solid. There wasn't a whole lot of telling. Dudes kept their mouth. Dudes did, you know, they minded their business, didn't want no repercussions behind anything that happened. Nobody says anything. A couple more days go by, maybe on the 4th or 5th day, we come out of our cells. Everything's good. Holler at Pakistan. Actually, Pakistan comes down there, is talking to a couple dudes and comes over to the cell. I'm getting my stuff ready to come out the cell, you know, do my little things, trying to make a meal up. I ain't ate no actual meal that we make. All I've been eating is the trays they feed to the door. So I need to actually make something to eat with some hot water. Pakistan comes over to the cell and says, hey, I need you to look at something. I'm thinking, man, I'm not going up to this dude's cell. They done came in and shook down. They didn't find nothing in the cell. Didn't find nothing on him. What do I need to go look at? He steps in my cell and says, hey, does this look bad? Lifts his shirt up, and right below his trap muscle, you got this muscle up here that's your trap. Right below this trap muscle was this big-ass gash that's got toilet paper stuffed in it. Pakistan had his back turned. Dude ran in the cell, stabbed him in his back. I guess trying to get him in the back of the neck, but he got him in the back, right below his trap. Buried the knife in Pakistan, and Pakistan went on to put this dude in critical condition. They ended up med-flighting this dude, taking this dude outside of the prison, putting him on a helicopter, and shooting him to a place called Southside Regional Hospital, right? I'm looking at Pakistan's back. Whatever dude hit him with, Pakistan said it was a piece of plexiglass. He said, I took the plexiglass, broke that shit up, and threw it in the trash, and I threw the shirt in there. Trash got taken out. They never found the shirt, never found the knife. The guards were actually pushing that trash can that had the bloody, you know, whatever in it, and then the knife. They were pushing that around as they were doing shakedown, taking things from dudes, throwing it right on top of the evidence, right? I'm looking at Pakistan's back, and it's got this big-ass red ring all around it. Like, it's warm to the touch. I'm touching. I'm like, homeboy, that shit's infected. Like, you're going to have to go to the infirmary. You're going to have to do something, because that's going to get in your blood. Like, you need to go to the hospital. No, I'm not going to the hospital, man. F this, F that. Pakistan gets up with some other dudes, gets some amoxicillin. Amoxicillin's like, it fights infection like penicillin. A lot of dudes got different pills. They save from the pill window, from here, from there. He gets up with some dudes that got some amoxicillin, starts taking the amoxicillin, and over time, it healed up. Pakistan never got caught for it. And then me saying this, I'm saying his nickname, so there ain't no snitching. I'm not going to put dude's real name out there. There's so many incidents similar to this with people getting taken up off there. That'd be the last we saw, dude. I don't know if anything ever transpired or they ever come across each other again. But that's beef. Beef is when you wait, ain't nobody looking, run up on a man and you attempt to take him out. The only difference is Pakistan wasn't no punk, man. Pakistan had been stabbed before. When I seen that hole in his back and what that knife had done to him, it wasn't the first knife wound I had seen. I'd sustained wounds before, you know what I mean? But it just made shit real. It let me know, just like I told y'all yesterday, the things you do today can definitely come back to you tomorrow. That was kind of the purpose of me not uploading the video I did earlier today and uploading this video, because I was thinking about other situations where things dudes had done in the past had come back to get them. Pakistan fell in that category. It just so happened that when it came down to the get down, Pakistan got the one up on him. Pakistan was able to take a knife and continue to fight this man. The man's lucky Pakistan didn't take that knife and kill him with it. As far as I know, he never got in no trouble. He never will get in no trouble. I stayed in the pod for a long time after that with Pakistan. After he healed up, he went back to working out a couple months later, and we never heard nothing else about it. Now, this ain't Florida, this ain't Cali, this ain't Philly. I'm not going to sit here and say that where I was at, dudes were getting stabbed all day, because they weren't. When you got stabbed, it was because you went past the point of fighting. It was because either somebody feared you or they wanted to kill you. They really wanted to. With that dude stabbing Pakistan, he wasn't trying to injure Pakistan. He was trying to end Pakistan, but he failed. If it ain't for all my subs, one of my earlier stories with Moneymaker, when Moneymaker got stabbed underneath his chin and it went through the roof of his mouth, dude wasn't trying to hurt Moneymaker. He was trying to end Moneymaker. That's what beef is. Beef is just, it's your last resort. You know what I mean? The stuff that people call internet beef, the stuff that's going back and forth. Some of these dudes that are beefing are really about that life. But usually, both of the guys beefing aren't. One of them's just talking and the other one is serious. I've dealt with enough in my lifetime, seen enough in my lifetime, been through enough in my lifetime, and put enough of my own work in. I ain't with that bullshit. I'm not with this fugazi, let me and you go back and forth type shit. I'm not doing it. I know what beef is. I've had beef in prison and out of prison. There's been times that when it was over with, I pray to God like, thank you. I didn't expect to make it out of that. I didn't expect to be praying right now. Times you don't even get time to pray and say, God, give me strength to get through this. Guide me. Help me with this situation. None of that. It just, before you know it, it's there. That's beef. With all that being said, I want to say I'm proud, blessed, humble, and very appreciative that I've made it to this point in life. I'm blessed to have been through, seen, experienced all different types of things. And to now be a 41-year-old man, a man with a history that's smart enough to know that my future doesn't have to resemble my past. I'm not who I used to be. There's times I tell y'all things about myself that I second guess before I say it out of fear of being judged. Nobody wants to be judged. But at the same time, none of us would have the bond. Everybody always says, I feel like I know you. Like I feel like I'm sitting down and we're talking face to face and you're talking. And that's because I stay honest. It's because I don't paint myself out to be the good guy. I wasn't always a good guy. I don't paint myself out to be a victim or to be a product of my environment or any of that. I'm very smart and intelligent. I know that about myself. Every choice I made in life, whether I was forced, meaning someone forced my hand, backed me in the corner, I had to do what I had to do, or I voluntarily did it, they were my decisions. Even when I was inebriated, pilled out of my mind, drunk, high off of this or that. Those were my choices, my thoughts, my decisions. But everybody that watched today's stories, what I want you to do is I want you to take the time, next time you get into it with somebody, to think about what it can really be. Take the time to look at your life, how beautiful it is, and think what life would be if it was stripped away from you. Think about how great it is to be able to open your refrigerator, go to your stove, use the bathroom by yourself, shower without having to wait for another man to come out or having to shower with another man. Because the smallest decisions you make can change all that. It can take it from you going in there, getting your favorite shampoo, the bar of soap you bought at Walmart yesterday, going to your linen closet and getting you a towel out to dry off with. It can take it from that to you showering with 6 other grown men. To you showering with your shower shoes or a pair of boots on because you got beef and you don't know if somebody's going to come in that shower and get you while you're standing there. We often react to situations that aren't that serious, and our reactions just fuel that fire that much more. I've created situations in the streets that didn't have to be what they had to be. Got on the phone and said things knowing that we're going to come face to face that didn't have to be said. I've met a lot of killers, a lot of guys that are never coming home. And for the most part, I'm going to tell you what they all have in common. They don't do a bunch of that. Guys that I've seen attacked in prison, when I mean attack, like try to take somebody else's life, usually there wasn't a whole lot of talking in the moments before that. It was just, oh shit, what just happened? Limit the situations you get in. Understand that everything ain't got to be something, man. It's only got to be what you turn it into. Guys want to date multiple girls, want to be popular. All that comes with a price. A lot of y'all need to learn to do what I've done. Conquering my biggest fear in life wasn't easy. And what I'm about to tell you is going to sound real stupid. My biggest fear in my entire life was being normal. Was just being that square, that average guy that goes to work every day. I never wanted to be normal. I never wanted to be the 9 to 5. I never wanted to be the guy with the house and the, dinner on the table and all that. But then I realized something while I was locked up. That guy I didn't want to be is sitting at home eating dinner at his table. He's sitting at home with his kids. That guy I didn't want to be might be sitting at my table with my kids. Might be eating my dinner. Be your best self. Don't get out here and get caught up in none of this stupidness, this madness. Find yourself in a situation where you really find out what beef is. I love all y'all, man, and I encourage y'all to do better. For all you youngins listening, even though this may be entertaining, and I do my best to keep y'all entertained, it's not all that entertaining when it's taking place. But anyways, got to get up out of here, get back to work. Tuesday video. I told you I'm going to try to keep them coming when I can. These jails, institutions, detention centers, these prisons, they're all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute. What up, Chuck?